We'll take just two more questions, I think, but brief ones. The gentleman right at the back, yes.
Lord Hannay, I came from Cyprus and I live from Augustan now.
Speak up a little louder. What is your name? What is your name, please?
Koray. I'm Turkish speaking Cypriot. I'm Cypriot. I don't make any category. Can I ask some simple question, please?
Please.
You know, in Cyprus now have a ceasefire. And this is from came 74. Republic of Turkey to Republic of Cyprus. Now negotiation and Annan Plan, and now from countries outside they want Bi-Zonal Bi-Communal. But I live in Famagusta and I see the reality. Turkey make mosque, jami everywhere. And the title...
Jami means mosque.
Mosque.
Mosque, I think. Yeah.
And the title is not original. First question is, where is the basic human rights? Where is the properties? We have a Cypriot here from Lapidos, from Kyrenia, from Morpho, everywhere. This is first question. And second question. Second question. Republic of Turkey wants Bi-Zonal and Bi-Communal in Cyprus. But very interesting, in Turkey, he didn't give same chance to Kurdish people to face, I believe. Can you make any comments, please?
I'd like to take your second question first. We're not in Turkey. We're not talking about being in Turkey. The Turks have democratic elections. They just had one. They have actually got a quite promising process of negotiation with the Kurds, but whether that will survive the formation of the new Turkish government, we'll have to see. But the point is that the north of Cyprus is not Turkey, and it's never going to be Turkey. It's Cyprus. And so many years ago, even someone as doubtful about a settlement as Lord Hannay believed that a Bi-Zonal Bi-Communal Federation was the only basis on which you could have a settlement, and that has been the view of Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots ever since that time, and one should not go away from that, I think. But you also... sorry, I didn't get your first... What was the first point? It was about...
The first point was about the Kurdish.
Yes.
Oh, the mosques.
The mosques. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I want to say about the property. Nobody who was sane would try sitting here in a room in the House of Lords to give you an answer on what's going to happen to the property issue. It is a hugely complex issue which will have to be settled eventually by a process of jurisdiction under an agreement that is reached between the two sides. Will that mean that every single piece of property will return to the people who had it before 1974? Probably not. Will it mean that none of it will return? That was what Lord Hannay wanted. No, that won't be acceptable either. But there will be some mixture of compensation and return. But that will have to be reached through legal processes, not by somebody like me sitting here telling you what the outcome would be.
Did you?
Yes, my name is Glafkos Kariolou. I am the elected mayor of Kyrenia, in exile, of course. And I thank you for all your time and perhaps lifetime efforts to solve problems like the Cyprus problem. Allow me to say that I don't belong to any political party. I'm a seaman myself, I'm a sailor. I have nothing to do with partisan politics. And I must admit that I was very much encouraged by your testimony that you observe that the Turkish army has been put to order by Erdogan, or they are no more influential. allow me to say that in 2004, when we have to sail a ship from Cyprus to Greece for the Olympics, there was a mixed group of crewmen, and there was a Turkish Cypriot with me. And in this room today, there is also another Turkish Cypriot. I had to go to Famagusta in the occupied area, and I did have to show my identity card against my will in order to go and support him when he was on trial, because he presented the flag of the Republic of Cyprus, Koray and Glafkos. May I also brief you on some little details, but they are very important. You mentioned before that there was a mistake with the Annan Plan number 5. I think probably we will going to have the same mistake now, because again we are trying to work from top to bottom. I think it has to be done both ways, from top to bottom, but also from the basis of the people, from the people themselves to the top. We are trying to do that. Look at the example of the fire in Famagusta. We do have some information that Mr. Akinci wanted the fire brigade of the Republic of Cyprus to assist extinguishing the fire. The Turkish army declined.
Well, how did you know about this fire?
No.
Well, there was a fire in Famagusta. The suggestion was that it was deliberate initially. It probably wasn't. The second thing is that apparently the Greeks offered to go and put it out. The Turks said no. Akinci said yes, but it was the Turkish army, and so actually it's a story to tick up. It was a fire to tick up because the fire was put out in about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, do you want to round off?
I do agree with
And
what
number 2.
Oh, sorry?
Number 2, missing persons. I am sure, absolutely sure, and I totally agree with you, Mr. Akinci would like, and Sevgiulu Ludak would like to get on with it. However, they cannot do it because of the Turkish army, because of the military zones.
So that's the question.
Yeah.
Well, what are this is the point.
I do agree with you that you need both a top-down and a bottom-up approach. I agree 100% with that. I wouldn't agree if you said it all has to be done from the bottom up, because that's not going to get anywhere, unfortunately.
What does that mean, actually, from the bottom?
Well, what it means, the bottom up means that there are more cross the line links between people, that civil society gets more involved. Civil society on both sides in Cyprus has been very devoted, but it's been a tiny, tiny proportion of the population who got involved. And quite often they are pilloried by their own combatants for doing it. Now that needs to be overcome. But in a way there's a sort of chicken and egg problem, because it is not clear to many people in Cyprus that a settlement is a realistic possibility. And because they don't think it's a realistic possibility, they wonder why on earth they should make the effort to have a kind of bi-communal civil society links. So really, it is very unfortunate that the cynicism and the lack of success of negotiations over the 40 years or so has bred that kind of attitude. But you are absolutely right about the fact that you need both the top-down and the bottom-up.
Right.
Allow me to add just a small point.
Well, very briefly.
Very briefly.
Yes.
If I am a Maronite or an Armenian or a Latin, every time you are saying and you are quoting on bi-zonality and bi-communality, it seems that you are wrong. We are not 2 communities, we are 5. So why not scribe out these bi-zonality and bi-communality and have a federation? That's a much better word. And
well, what is being proposed, and which was agreed to by Archbishop Makarios and Denktash and others, is a federation, but it's a bi-zonal, bi-communal one. Now, the number of Armenians, Maronites and so on is very small indeed.
honestly don't think that you would make it any easier to resolve any of these problems if you introduced a new dimension like that. They're not all living in ghettos, as it were, so I don't think it would help very much, really. Of course, they all have to have basic human rights, and that will be more easy to achieve after a settlement and within the European Union than it is now.
Yes, just a moment.